All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Kalvin Hot Sauce Henderson making a return to the show. Kalvin, how are we doing?
And I'm blessed, big dog. I'm pleasure and always fun to be back on the show. My man Matt, hold it down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just talked about Kalvin could be the show's boxing insider here moving forward, and we're gonna preview Usyk and Fury and talk about a little bit of Jake Paul because Kalvin sparred him, has an interesting perspective on that. So let's get right into Kalvin real quickly. Kalvin, what's the update? I know you were planning on having a fight in December. What's going on there, and what's next for you right now?
Yeah, so we was getting prepped and ready to have a fight December 7th. It's gonna be a really good fight, man. Here where I live at locally in Springdale, Arkansas, it's gonna be a banger, man. But the show unfortunately got canceled. The entire show, not just my fight, the entire show got canceled. But when one door closes, three more opens. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with TCL, Team Combat League, and this is their third season. But what it is a lot of major cities in the country have a quote unquote boxing team. So like Team Dallas, LA, Phoenix, Philly, New York, they have these boxing teams, and the fighters on this team travel and compete against each other to see who the best fight city is. And so the Dallas coach reached out to me, and I was invited into the invite-only team tryouts. And I made Team Dallas, man. So I'm representing Team Dallas and the TCL. The kicker about it, though, Matt, is that it's 1 3-minute round fight. That's all it is. So what they're pushing is knockouts and pushing action and excitement. So you only get one round to get your work done. So it's going to be a little change in pace for me. I like to sit back and set shit up. But it's going to be kind of go out, all out, and go get it. So that's what I got coming up.
Yeah, that's very exciting, and it'll keep you busy, keep getting you some rounds, which is great.
Thanks.
Love to hear it. I'll be tuned in for sure. So let's get into a little Usyk Fury before we talk about the preview. Just where do you, in your opinion, where do you rank each guy historically in the heavyweight division?
So let's go back to start with Usyk. I initially thought Usyk was too small to compete in the heavyweight division. Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, Usyk is a big guy, you know what I mean? But now we got these freaking natures guys, 6'7", 6'9", 6'5", heavyweight division. Usyk, I just thought, even though he punch hard, he's very skillful, I just didn't think size-wise would match up well. And for the most part, in that first fight, Usyk was losing until he wasn't, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of that was due to Tyson Fury's reach, how awkward it is at times, his timing, his defense is kind of weird, so it makes it a hard fight to get in close and land anything of significance until Usyk did. And when he touched Tyson Fury, it changed the entire aspect of the fight. He ended up winning in a close decision. I think the rematch, even though boxing history shows that a rematch in the fight 80% of the time and greater, the same thing or worse is going to happen. I think the first fight was so close and it came down to that one punch Tyson got caught with. The rematch may be different. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's going to be competitive, of course. I think both guys going to come out willing to fight, but I think Usyk has the momentum in this rematch compared to Fury.
Yeah, and Usyk, I think, is going to have to win decisively. I think some of the folks in Saudi Arabia want the trilogy for just the sake of hosting the event and money, all that different stuff. So I think Usyk has to just destroy Fury. If it's going to be a decision, it has to be super lopsided, or he has to knock out Fury. But what's interesting about this matchup is both guys, which I like, they're both men of God, but they're just such different human beings. Usyk is just a locked-in, stone-cold, always putting in the work, just super honorable, respectful guy, while Fury is just an up-and-down guy. He's had his struggles with mental health. But for being a God-fearing man, he sounds very kind of hopeless sometimes and kind of nihilistic, I would say, where he's like, and he always contradicts himself. He'll say, oh, I don't fight for the money. Oh, I only fight for the money. Oh, I don't care about the belts. Oh, I only fight for the belts. It's just he's always contradicting himself, while Usyk is always doing his job. And Fury will balloon outside of his fights. He'll get overweight, all that stuff. But he does seem very locked in for this fight. And recently he just said in an interview that he has not spoken to his wife or kids in 3 months and has not seen them.
Oh, shit.
And I've heard of boxers, and I understand maybe abstaining from some things in life before a fight, but What do you think about Fury not seeing his wife or kids for 3 months? Do you think that's a little overboard?
That's crazy. So, one thing I mean to cut you off earlier, but the thing about Fury is that you say he's inconsistent. I agree with that. I think he's inconsistent because Fury is a showman. So I think that some of the things he says on camera is to boost views and ratings and get people to tune into the fight, and it goes
Sure.
against how he really core believes. And so he contradicts himself because the way he really believes in shit and what he has to say to boost the sales, they contradict
Yeah.
each other. But him, if it's true he hasn't seen his wife, his kids in 3 months or whatever he said, that's intense, man. That is very intense. And that's somebody who really is saying they're willing to sacrifice whatever it is to take to win this fight. I think Fury's gonna come in with a different game plan. I think he's gonna. I'm gonna backtrack. He's gonna stick with the same game plan, but make sure he stays locked in on it. Because in the first fight, I feel like he was playing, he was having success, he was smiling and talking to the crowd and pointing and all this shit. He was kind of like not taking it serious. I think now he's gonna be locked in and really gonna give Usyk a run for his money, man.
Yeah, Fury also said that he could go without seeing his wife and kids for 15, 20 years and not miss them at all. He says he loves them, but he wouldn't miss them at all because he's on a mission. If he has a mission to accomplish, it wouldn't phase him. So, yeah, I mean, I hope. I mean, for me personally, like if that was my dad saying that, I'd be a little upset by that. But yeah, he's an interesting cat. He's an interesting cat. He's going to
Yeah.
be weighing in at 273-ish is what he said. I mean, maybe that's mind games. I don't know. He's 262 for the last fight. Do you think adding the extra 10 pounds helps or hurts him? If he
I
is
think
273, because I think he could be lying too.
Yeah, I don't think when you already 260, I don't think 270 is gonna be a big difference in
Yeah,
speed or power per se. But if you coming in at 260 the first time and then you 300, that's a whole different conversation there. I'm not sure if he's saying 270 because he wants to have more power or be a bigger guy or what. But I feel like his size was great in the last fight. I thought his speed was good. I thought his accuracy was really good too, man. He threw some outlandish uppercuts that had Usyk thinking twice about the next round. And so if he keeps that same kind of pace and the same distance, he's gonna be hard to beat just because his body and length is so big.
sure, sure. And just give me a pathway for victory for Fury to start.
I think he has to start with his jab, start with his movement, and make it hard to close the distance on. I think if he makes it hard to close the distance on, that's when the whole size and reach thing plays a factor. If he lets Fury or Usyk get in close to him and bang him out, then you can be big for no fucking reason then. And so as long as he keeps his distance and makes it awkward to come in on him, I think he'll win this pretty decisively too.
Okay, Usyk's pathway to victory.
Usyk has to go back to getting back to his range, land that big right hand he landed in the first one, or the left hand, excuse me. He's a southpaw, and really just get in and work his combinations and make it awkward. If that makes sense. Fury has to make it boring. Usyk has to make it exciting and make it awkward and shit. Let his hands go.
All right, and then final prediction. Who are you taking?
Oh shit, man! This is on camera too, so it's gonna be forever. I'm gonna go against common boxing knowledge. I'm gonna pick Fury to win it, man.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go Usyk. I'm gonna go Usyk because, like we said, Fury up and down, up and down. He's locked in for this training camp, which is good. But Usyk's
Yeah,
father time. Both guys are getting up there a little bit. Father time rewards people who just take care of business consistently and don't do what
really.
Fury does. So I think Fury's locked in right now. Usyk is always locked in. So I'm gonna go with Usyk. And one last thing, talking about these two, is Tyson Fury also said in his interview that he's tried to walk away from boxing and he can't. He
Mm.
he says like there's not very much out there for me other than boxing. Like boxing's his home. Boxing's what makes him happy. What do you think about when you hear Fury say that he doesn't think he can ever walk away from the sport? For me, I think one thing. Eventually, that's just gonna have a bad ending, and he's taken a lot of punishment already in his career.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think he's telling the truth. I think that is truly who Fury is. You know, a lot of cats they look for their identity in life, right? And Fury has been without boxing for a long time. And who was Fury? Like nobody knew about Fury until Klitschko gave him a chance, and he beat Klitschko on that decision. And so boxing has changed his life. It's had promoted his life. A lot of fighters attach their identity to the sport. You know what I mean? And I can see him when he take breaks off, he balloons up, he gets caught on TMZ being drunk on high cocaine binges, whatever. And so
Yep.
boxing keeps him locked in and stay focused and have a mission and a plan. Without boxing, I'm pretty sure he would never leave his wife and kids for 15 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So boxing, I think he needs boxing more than boxing needs him.